Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello. All right. So today's video is all about you guys. I thought it would be so nice to just give a chance for anyone to come ask any questions they want. I get awesome questions in my comments all the time, which I love, but sometimes it's a little hard to answer them with just a quick reply. So I thought I'd just give this time and space for anyone who'd like to come ask a question to ask one. So if you have a question, let's see. What is the lowest possible note you can sing? The lowest possible note I can sing? Okay, one time for a song I had to sing a low F, which is very, very low. Let's see if we can get there right now. I think that's about the lowest I can go. But I think that for anyone that is wanting to expand their range into a lower range, that I suggest taking every day to warm up. Singing low is all about relaxing. So sometimes when we have to sing notes that we're lower than we're comfortable with, we feel the need to push, but that's actually going to trap the sound in your throat. So you want to just really open up that space, like I talk about a lot, just finding that inner space in the mouth, like you have your imaginary egg in there you can't let crack. And that will open up the throat, and then you're just going to want to relax that jaw and sink into those low notes. Yes. So awesome. Let's see. What does it sound like if you push past your lowest note? Well, for me, I don't believe in really pushing the voice at all. I think that's damaging to our throat. However, I know for me, if I try to sing lower than my lowest note, that the sound will absolutely just stop. So we just won't have, it will just, let's see, it just gets quieter and quieter, and then eventually just no sound will come for me. But I never think it's a good idea to push the voice in any capacity. You really, at any point when you sing, you're starting to feel your throat tighten up, or you're starting to feel some scratchiness or any sort of pain, that's usually a bad sign. Awesome. Thank you for the question. I really appreciate it. Does anyone else have a question that they would like to ask? Okay, well, here's a question that I get a lot in terms of expanding range. We talked about how to expand your lower notes, but also a lot of people ask, what if I can't sing this high? Well, for me, I actually naturally have more of a low voice. I'm more of an alto or a mezzo, if you're going to put it in a term. So I think that range is all about practice, and we're going to always have our natural range, which when I say range, I mean your highest note to your lowest note. We're always going to have our natural one. However, we can always work on growing and expanding that. So if you are looking to expand your range higher, what I recommend, a vocal exercise I like to do is I like to have people laugh. I call it laughing your way up to your high notes. So when I work with my students, I have them laugh up the scale. I'll tell them to say, ha, and get a nice bounce with that ha, and then we're going to sing it up and up and up like this. Ha, 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 and we'll go up. Ha, 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 and higher. Ha, 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 even higher. Ha, 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 keep going. Ha, 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 and higher. Ha, 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 even higher. Ha, 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 and again. Ha, 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 even higher. Ha, 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 and higher. Ha, 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 ha. Can we go one more? Ha, 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 ha. By singing. Oh, let's see. This comment says, I've heard people expand their low note by singing them in vocal fry. I would like to expand my low range. Is that a possible way? Oh, so singing with vocal fry. Okay, that's a great question. So whenever we are using vocal fry, that actual quality actually is damaging to your voice. So it depends on the sound you're looking to get. I would say in general, we want to try to avoid vocal fry. For those of you who are maybe wondering what vocal fry is, I'm going to quickly speak with vocal fry to demonstrate. If I speak with vocal fry, I'd be talking like this. For an example, you hear this raspiness in my voice. I would say if you're singing a song and you want to quickly use that on a low note as a stylistic choice, that would be an option. However, I would not suggest keeping that as a typical part of your vocal practice because that will have a negative effect on the way that your vocal cords rub together. And eventually you could develop vocal notes in the most severe case, or in a less severe case, it will cause some strain in the vocal cord. So I would recommend trying to avoid that if possible. However, if you occasionally want to use that as a little stylistic choice, feel free. Exercise for low notes, I would suggest just easing on down into your low notes. Before you start to sing this, I would suggest to warm up our woofer. A woofer is a part of our voice that is the lowest, most guttural sound in our voice. So to do this, this is going to be a bit silly, so get ready to get silly with me. You are going to want to start breathing low and heavy. And repeat that over and over again. I like to kind of channel my inner gorilla while I do this. Some people like to kind of punch their chest and just get really guttural, really primal with it. Just feel that low. That's called your woofer. And once you get that going, that is going to open up a low register of your voice. Then I recommend doing an exercise that is going to sink down into your low notes. So I would do this on an O, or you can even say the word low. This exercise would sound like this. Low, 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 and lower. Low, 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 even lower. Low, 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 and lower. Low, 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 even lower. Low, 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 and lower. Low, 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 even lower. Low, 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 low. Can we go lower? Low, 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 even lower. Low, 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 low. Can we go lower? Low, 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 low. So that exercise I find very effective. Feel free to just rewatch that and replay that if you need to. I will be posting this video on my channel afterwards. I hope that helped. Thank you so much for the great questions and all of the clarification there. And going back to earlier when we talked about laughing our way up the scale into our high notes, I think it's important that whenever you are expanding your range, whether you're going higher, working towards higher notes, or going lower and working towards lower notes, when you first are hitting these notes, they don't have to sound amazing. They don't have to sound loud. For example, you are going to notice that lowest note I just hit right there. That is definitely not, the peak of my singing. That is not the sound that I would always like to strive for, of course. But when we're expanding our range, we just want to think about getting the note, hitting that note in a comfortable way that's not causing pain in our vocal cords. Once we keep doing that and repeating that practice, we are going to build strength in that part of the voice. So when you first hit low notes, when you first hit high notes in these vocal warm-ups that we talked about, hi new people, don't worry about it being loud. Don't worry about it being the perfect sound. Just keep repeating, getting there, and then eventually it will get stronger. Hi everyone, thanks for joining more people. We've had some great questions so far. We've been talking about vocal range and how to expand that. If anyone has any questions they have about singing at all, feel free to drop it and I'd love to answer it for you. And also I want to say thank you guys so much for coming today. This is my first live stream, so I'm very excited to have you here. And I'm hoping to do more of these where we can just talk about singing and I can help answer any questions you might have. Okay. Well, until we get another question, I have some more commonly asked questions that I wanted to talk about. Oh, let's see. I wonder what vocal renaissance sounds like in different parts of the ranges. By vocal renaissance, do you mean like the sweet spot of your voice? I would love to know if that's what you're thinking. The other question we have, do you have any tips to keep my voice high in a long time? Okay, yes, so to sing high notes for a long time. So we talked a little bit about expanding vocal range. So you can watch us later and see that little warm-up we did there before. Oh, resonance. Okay, awesome. I'll come right back to your question, Grand Solar. I'm going to answer Greenie's question very quickly. Let's see, do you have any tips to keep my voice high in a long time? So, in general, when we're working with our high notes, that's in our place called the head voice. We are first going to want to build vocal strength there. So after you do your warm-up, just expanding that range, we are going to want to, in general, just focus on this part of the voice and making it comfortable. This is something you can do in your daily life that will help. But think about, and this may be a little silly at times, so find times when it's appropriate to do it, but think about actually talking in a higher register. So if I'm going to talk using my head voice, it's going to sound like this. Sometimes I actually do this in my videos when I sing a higher song because it helps me get in that headspace. So when I'm talking like this, although it sounds a little silly, maybe a little like a cartoon, it actually helps lift my vocal cords into that higher register. So that's a simple exercise you can just do during your daily life. And then for some singing warm-ups, so let's go into our high notes, and I want us to practice just holding those notes for as long as we can. So one exercise to do this would be to just start holding a note and keep holding it for as long as possible. So you are going to grab a big breath, and let's start on this note, ah, just that high note there, ready? And we are going to take a big breath, and the goal here is not to sing loud, but just to expend a little bit of air at a time. So let's try that together. We're going to sing on this note, ah. It's not too high, but it's high enough that we're using our head voice. Ready? Take a big breath. Awesome. So at that note, I got about 12 seconds. Hopefully you can get better. Okay, you're a man. That's too high for you. No problem. No problem. So then for you, you would just do the same thing. Pick a note that's in your higher range and hold on to that note for as long as you can. You're just going to take a breath. And I would recommend actually using the timer on your phone. Just hold it for as long as you can. And you don't want to think about it being loud. You just want to think about holding it. And if you start to do that every single day, you're going to build up that vocal stamina there. And actually for you males, your vocal placement is a little bit different than ours. So you are really going to want to play with that placement. And what's high for you is going to be something you're going to just want to keep exploring and opening up. Awesome. All right, wonderful. Okay, let's see. We've had a lot more questions. Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay, this is an easy one to answer. I'm not German. I was born in Missouri in the United States, but my ancestry is actually mostly Irish. Unfortunately, I can't speak German. I would love to learn. Maybe you guys can teach me one day. That would be pretty fun. Let's see here. I wonder what vocal resonance sounds like in different parts of the range. That is an awesome question. The reason I love this question is because our different vocal placements do have different qualities to them. So, in general, we have our head voice and we have our chest voice. Our head voice is going to control our high notes, typically our higher range, and our chest voice is going to control our lower notes. So, the difference between these sounds is typically with our chest voice, we have a louder, more what you would think of when you hear a belting type of a sound, is what's going to come naturally with that. Whereas for our head voice, you have more of a soprano type of sound naturally. Now, vocal resonance is we want to think about the sound. I like to imagine I'm a very visual person, which you know by watching my videos. So I like to imagine vocal resonance resonance as a swirl that's happening on the inside of our mouth. So that's how I picture it. Because when we're hitting that sweet spot of our voice, basically it's just when we're getting the richest, most full sound. So when you think about resonance, it's not necessarily a specific sound, it's just the richest sound at the note we are currently hitting. I hope that helped answer that question. And in general, when I think we are wanting to achieve vocal resonance, I just want us to think about dropping the jaw, imagining that egg and that we're holding an egg on the inside of our mouth. That's going to create a lot of space on the inside of your mouth. And then if you're really visual like me, imagine the sound swirling around in that space on your mouth and then just coming out. So let's try to get that full, rich sound. Let's try to get that placement right now. So let's relax our jaws, drop our jaws. We're going to do a big sigh. Big sigh. Awesome, wonderful. Relax that jaw. Now I want you to hold your imaginary egg inside your mouth. This is going to feel like a little lift in the roof of your mouth, just lifting up. Awesome. And now here we're going to just go slowly up the scale so we can focus on achieving that resonance, that beautiful, rich sound with each note. We're going to start here. Since I know we have some lower singers watching. Here we go. Wonderful. So we're really just going to want to sink into that richness of the sound. Beautiful. I hope that helped answer your question. And for vocal resonance specifically, it's mostly about placement. So I just want you to think about that placement we talked about, the opening of the space in our mouth so the sound has lots of room to become rich and flow out. And we also want to think about getting big, nice breaths with this. Wonderful. All right. Let's see. Does anyone else have any questions? I hope I'm answering these for what you're looking for. If you are thinking, that didn't really answer my question, feel free to drop a clarifying question so I can target more what exactly you're looking for. Well, before we answer another question, or while you guys are maybe thinking what questions you might have, I want to talk about belting. So a lot of people ask me how to belt. And I want to talk about how quickly just what belting is, because I think that word gets thrown around a lot and we're kind of wondering, what is that? So when we think about belting, belting is typically when you think of a Broadway sound or a big loud pop sound. For example, when we sing, let it go, that's a big belting sound, big, loud, rich, filling that space. And it's directed in a forward placement. So typically belting is used with the chest voice. So we want to really embrace that chest voice. What is really important to learn how to belt in a healthy way is we have to learn where our chest voice ends and where our head voice starts. That is called our vocal break. This is very important because we don't want to be pushing our chest voice up into our head voice. That is when we start to damage parts of our voice. So I'm going to demonstrate what my vocal break looks like so we can hear that. So I'm going to transition from my chest into my head. And I'm going to point out when that break happens so we can hear that. Okay, ready? Here we go. I'm going to sing. It was right there. So did we hear that? I just went into my head voice. Awesome. So we have to know where those those sounds differentiate, because what we don't want to do is make the mistake of pushing our chest voice into our head voice. So when I switch over into my head voice, what I'm doing is I'm actually blending elements of my chest voice to keep it forward and mixing that with my head voice to do it in a healthy way. I'm going to put out a whole video on this technique, which I call mixing, which a lot of other voice coaches call mixing. But I just wanted to quickly explain that. So when we say belting, we know what that means, and so that you can explore your voices and try to find where your vocal break is. So you know, chest voice, head voice. Once we know those, we can start to use those to our benefit. Wonderful. All right, let's see. Oh, what does it sound like you talking in a lower range? Okay, this is a fun question. I like this. I will talk in a lower range. This is what it sounds like if I'm talking in a lower range. I am just simply relaxing my vocal cords, my jaw, and I'm just trying to aim for a lower pitch. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Thank you for asking. Wonderful. All right, let's see. I don't know that song. Namen Los, I actually don't know that song, but I will look into it. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I appreciate that. Wonderful. Let's see. All right. So does anyone else have any more questions? This has been so much fun. Oh my gosh. I am so glad that we are all getting to hang out and talk about singing together. So let's see. Unbreak My Heart by Toni Braxton. Oh, wonderful suggestion. That is a great idea. Thank you so much. I absolutely will be putting out more videos like that soon. That sounds great. Wonderful. And I love when you guys give me suggestions on videos, by the way. It's really wonderful. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Am I cool? Oh, I mean, I think I'm pretty cool, but I mean, who can be the judge of their own coolness? I think we all think we are pretty cool. Let's see. Also, when you're singing an exercise, should males sing an octave lower? Yes, that's a great question, Grand Solar. Thank you so much for asking that. Absolutely. Because I typically sing in my range, which is in the treble range. So you are going to want to bring that an octave lower if that's comfortable for you. And I also think you can explore in general, you know, if there's, for me, like we all have our own personal voices and individual voices. So when I'm coaching someone one-on-one and I can hear them sing, then I can really tailor what notes they should sing to them. But for my videos, I typically keep it in my range or the range of the original song that I'm teaching. So for you, it's very important, move it into a range that is comfortable for you, where you feel like you're at, and where you are able to sing it in your range with comfortability and confidence. And for vocal exercises, yes, definitely you're gonna wanna sing those lower. Unless maybe you're trying to work out your more tenor voice, then you may want to sing it in my octave. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Can you sing the sentence, I'm cool? Yes, I would love to do that. I'm cool. I hope that helps. I don't know if that was a very cool thing to do, but it felt pretty cool when I did it. So thank you for asking that. Let's see here. So yes, and just to go back, so for the male voice, what's so awesome about you guys is that you have the same vocal range as us, but you actually have the ability to use your falsetto. So a lot of males can sing in falsetto voice, which is another vocal placement that we women actually do not have, where you can actually sing in where you can actually sing in a female range. So if you've ever seen male singers singing, you know, extremely high soprano notes, they're using their falsetto voice. So that's a very awesome feature to the male voice that is very unique and special. So if you are wondering if you are working on your falsetto voice, you can try to sing it in my range, or if you'd rather work on your other parts of your voice, feel free to drop it an octave lower. Wonderful. All right, guys. Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions or anything they'd like to talk about in terms of singing? Any favorite songs, maybe? Or any tips you've been looking for? Mm-hmm. Let's see, what are some other questions people ask me? Oh, a lot of people also ask about just in general how to get more volume on a certain note. So in general, no matter what placement we're using, a great way to get volume on the notes we're singing is I want you to look across from you and pick one spot. It has to be a small spot. So don't pick, a whole tree. Pick one spot on that tree. Well, you're probably not outside. Don't pick, don't pick a whole painting on your wall. Just pick one spot of that painting you can focus on. And you're going to focus all your energy towards that one spot. And you are going to take a big, deep breath. And you're just going to focus all the way towards that one spot. And just focusing your attention and your energy on that and directing all your sound towards one spot will really help start to grow that volume there. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, Naman Los, I'm sorry. I would love to, but I think I will butcher the pronunciation. So I'll have to look it up, and maybe for my next live stream, I'll be able to do that. All right, let's see. Can you sing I'm Cool in a manly voice and then a chipmunk voice? Okay, I will try. Sing manly voice. I'm cool. I'm so cool. I don't know if that's manly at all. Let's see. Chipmunk voice. I'm cool. I'm very cool. I don't know. Was that chipmunky? You guys will have to tell me. I feel really silly right now, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Last chance. Any last questions on singing? LOL, they were good. Oh, thank you so much, Grand Solar. Awesome. All right. Well, it's good. It is good to have fun. I so agree. I've had so much fun. I'm hoping to do more of these on different things. Some of them will be, we can do questions, more question sessions like this. And I'm also hoping to have some time to learn more vocal techniques in these longer live streams like this. So this was a great time. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my first live stream. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I had so much fun, and thank you all for showing up and asking your questions. I really appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful day, and I will have to talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. This means a lot to me. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Bye, everyone!